Controversial verdict in the Kate Steinle murder trial, sending shockwaves across the country. A jury late yesterday finding an undocumented Mexican immigrant not guilty in the killing of the young woman on a San Francisco pier back in 2015. This shooting touched off a fierce immigration debate during the presidential campaign. Then candidate Trump had used the tragedy to push for a wall along the Mexican border. Well, late yesterday on Twitter, the president called the verdict, quote, disgraceful, adding no wonder the people of our country are so angry with illegal immigration. The suspect's lawyers said that outside court that their client's immigration status was unfairly exploited for political purposes and had nothing to do with the case. Let's bring in to discuss criminal defense attorney David Bruno and in WashingtonTownHall.com columnist Erich Reimer. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Cheryl.
David, you know, Zarate was found not guilty, of involuntary manslaughter. You say that justice was served, that we should have faith in our justice system. Why?
Yes, certainly. And I caution anyone that questions this verdict or any verdict where 12 unanimous people hear evidence, were instructed on the law, and come to a conclusion. You know, interesting enough, in this case, the ballistics expert was critical in this defense because what it showed was that at the time that this weapon was discharged, this individual was in a seated position leaning forward, and he had just found a stolen weapon underneath his chair. There was no evidence that he was intentional shooting at this individual, and the weapon was discharged into the cement, bounced up off the cement, and into the victim here, which is certainly a tragedy.
So it was an accident, and that's what Zarate said in his defense. But, you know, Eric, the political debate is big here because he was already deported 5 times. You know, then he's found, and he was found guilty, we should say, of possessing an illegal firearm. I mean, and he eventually will be deported after whatever prison sentence he's going to get. But, Eric, this is now emboldening some Republicans to say we need the border wall. We don't need to make a deal with the Democrats when it comes to the Dreamers. I mean, do you think that that debate's going to start now?
I mean, I think the verdict is definitely very disappointing, and it really shows the need for not only Kate's Law to give law enforcement and prosecutors more tools to be able to deal with criminal illegal aliens in the country. I actually wrote an op-ed back this past summer in the Daily Caller where the House Judiciary Committee publicized it as well, talking about this. And essentially the fact is those who have been who are in the country illegally, who have committed crimes already, they're more likely to commit crimes in the future. And it's a big public safety issue for Americans of all backgrounds. And I think certainly it's going to raise a lot of awareness and concern about the problems of illegal immigration in the country right now. And
it will. It will. And, you know, also, David, it brings up the issue of sanctuary cities, which San Francisco is one, where there is no communication between, or there could be, but there's legally not, there doesn't have to be communication between immigration officials and local officials. Does this change your view of where we're at with sanctuary cities? Maybe we need to revisit these.
Yes, certainly this was the case to bring this issue to the forefront. Actually, there's a recent decision last week by a federal judge which halted President Trump's executive order, which could withhold federal funding to cities that did not honor the deportation proceedings. So, yes, this certainly is at the forefront. It's this case that brought it to the forefront, and hopefully there's some law passed. Because what the president has tried to do is pass executive orders to address this. But until the federal law is changed, certainly we need something else.
And that's a legal question, Eric. But at the same time, the political question still is sitting here. Do we build the wall? And there's going to be talk about that when they start to debate the budget, which is going to be next week.
Definitely. I mean, I think it just really shows how prevalent the problem of illegal immigration is, and why polling has repeatedly showed that large majorities of Americans oppose sanctuary cities and support measures such as securing the border. And while there's lots of controversy and disagreement over the exact details, I think more Americans really want to see a more secure border, want to see immigration reform, immigration enforcement, and that's what we really need as this verdict and case shows.
Yeah, the debate is going to be strong again after this verdict yesterday. David Bruno, Erich Reimer. Guys, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks so much.